Hello and welcome back to Factorio 0.16 with Bob's and Angel's mods. So, between episodes I've done a lot of work actually. Mostly I've done research. I'm pretty much finishing up with blue and military science packs. And because of that I have iron shortage here, but yeah, it will go away soon. I've also added a few things to the main bus, mainly glass and titanium plates, and also I've added the cobalt and titanium ore that's needed for blue metal catalysts. So let's see what new areas were added to the base here. First let's go to the titanium smelting area, let's say. So yeah, this is here. Also with titanium and cobalt I've added them on the southern part here. I've made a small rail. Yeah, what was it called? Yeah, no matter. But I've got titanium over here and cobalt over here, and they go on about here together and just make catalysts on the main bus. So titanium, I'm doing it with the processed titanium method, which needs pretty much titanium ingot needs sponges here, and they are made with titanium tetrachloride, which is made over here. It just takes processed titanium, carbon, and some chlorine gas that I'm making over here. And yeah, the excess sodium hydroxide I'm just putting it into a warehouse, so I don't really need to worry about it too much. And the what was it called again? Hydrogen gas is being burned away, and the chlorine goes here, and from the purification, purified water goes to a machine over here that's making me carbon monoxide, because this is also needed for titanium ingots. Well, not ingots, molten titanium, since I can use it only with titanium, or I can use titanium plus manganese ingots, or titanium and nickel. And since I don't really use a lot of nickel, I can just use it to get more titanium plates. And yeah, that's why the nickel ore goes over here. And they are both, oh yeah, the sponges are made over here from titanium tetrachloride, and ingots are just straight from sponges. Both go to induction furnace to make molten titanium, and I've got 4 machines here making plates. So that gives 8 per second of titanium plates. Okay, next up is the glass that I added somewhere. I'll just go like here. Okay, so glass is made from let's see here. I'm using the glass tree with molten tin, and yeah, it's being made with titanium, molten titanium. No, molten tin. Where's it again? With molten tin and molten glass, and I got a induction furnace here to just change it back into tin. So this pretty much doesn't use up any tin at all. So a few only are enough for this setup. And with molten glass, it can be only made with glass mixture, and I'm using only the first method, since I didn't really want to get into making lime here, but it's fine. I've got a lot of silicon ore. Okay, so next up, the other thing that I maybe changed, let's say, since I've done a lot of science, I actually have access to sapphirites and well, crystals and purified sapphirite. Actually, I'm not doing purified sapphirite since I needed titanium, and I will need electronic logic boards, but I will get to it later. So I've changed it to make also crystals over here. They are made in leaching plants, and the amount of crystals I have of each independent ore is pretty much everything I need for specific sorting, because I've decided not to use crystal, for example sapphirite crystal sorting or whatever else. I'm using the pure something sorting, so for example pure iron or pure nickel, and that's why all of those have different amounts of leaching plants here. And also I've set a limit for all of those to just be 20,000, so it doesn't produce too much. The same pretty much with chunks. Okay, so next up is the changed sorting. As you can see, all of the crystals and chunks and up here on the map, crushed ore, they go to the west into a warehouse that limits everything to 2000, and yeah, so it's limited to 2000 for each, and all of those, they get feeded into ore sorting facility Mark IIIs to make specific ore sorting. Yeah, so iron is pretty much well, iron and down here uranium are the only ones that I have 2 machines of each, but I'm not really using uranium right now, so I just leave it as like that. This also have iron also have 2 machines making it, and it pretty much makes a single machine can make 6 ore per second, apart from uranium, which makes 3 per second. That's why I have 2. And for iron I have 2 machines because I use more iron than other things. So yeah, we've got a little bit spaghetti over here just to feed everything, every machine what it needs. Yeah, as you can see, tin and lead, it's pretty much backed up since I already have full warehouses of them. It's pretty much the same with chunks with silicon, nickel, zinc, and aluminum. And also a little bit spaghetti, in which fits every machine what it needs. It doesn't really work right now because I don't have enough crystal catalysts. But on that, I'll speak about that a little bit later. And with crystal sorting, it's pretty much the same. But here, I didn't really need all of the crystals here, since I only use 4: sapphirite, stereotite. Oh no, I'm using all of them. Oh, with chunks I only use 4. But yeah, they pretty much go on a single belt, 2 hours on a single belt, since as you can see, pretty much all of them need, for example, you can see that rubite and stereotite is always together, and protinium and bodmonium are pretty much always together, so that leaves sapphirite and givolite that go on a single belt together. And it fits cobalt, gold, silver, and titanium ore. And they pretty much work because all the time, because they use hybrid catalysts. Okay, and because I also make what are those called, crystals, I had to make well, because sapphirite, stereotite, and bodmonium, they use sulfuric acid to convert chunks into crystals, so I just connected those pipes to correct pipes over there. And with givolite, it uses hydrofluoric acid, which I already make over here. So it's pretty much I didn't need to make anything more to turn givolite chunks into givolite crystals. The only other things are, I should probably put a radar over here somewhere so it's visible. The only other thing that needed to be done is nitric acid for rubite crystals, and hydrochloric acid for protinium crystals. And those are made, just make sure we're not run over by a train. They are made over here. So first up, hydrochloric, yes, hydrochloric acid. It needs purified water and hydrogen chloride. So yeah, and pretty much hydrogen chloride is chlorine gas and hydrogen gas, which is in turn made from saline water. And here as well, I'm just putting the sodium hydroxide in a warehouse, so I don't need to worry about it for a few hours. And since they make uneven amounts of chlorine and hydrogen, the hydrogen is voided if it's overflowing here. And with all of those are supplied with saline water from 4 hydro plants Mark IIs, which make just enough saline water and more purified water. And as I said earlier, the purified water is needed for hydrochloric acid. And this also makes purified water available for other things here. And only if purified water is overflowing, it will be voided. I should probably get an overflow valve for saline water, but yeah. Or maybe not, let's see. And the purified water is also used for making nitric acid, which needs also nitrogen dioxide gas, which in turn needs nitrogen monoxide gas and oxygen gas, which needs more oxygen gas, ammonia, and green metal catalysts. And I've got pretty much a machine here making me some green metal catalyst, and I've got about supplying it with silver and aluminum. And yeah, ammonia is over here, which needs hydrogen, nitrogen, and red metal catalyst. So I've got also a machine here making a red metal catalyst and being supplied with iron and copper ore. Okay. Also, this needed nitrogen, which is made over here in a chemical plant with our air separation, and it's supplied with a single air filter Mark II. And with hydrogen, it's made over here with 3 electrolyzers Mark IIs from purified water. And all of the hydrogen is pretty much supplying ammonia here, and if it overflows, it's just being voided here. Okay, and the oxygen from this is supplied over here, and it supplies both the nitrogen monoxide and dioxide gas chemical plants here. And the excess of oxygen is being voided pretty much the same as hydrogen. I should probably not void one of those, but yeah, since this will work all the time, unless of course this stops working, then there's no more purified water. So yeah. Okay, so that was hydrochloric and nitric acids. And there's also another thing that was added here. Well, not over here, it's more for the specific ore sorting. Which is catalysts. And also a different thing here. Okay, so this is a small, let's say, all of this is for crafting catalysts, which are made over here. So yeah, most of this is 2 mineral catalysts, 2 crystal catalysts, and one machine each feeds a hybrid catalyst machine. So all of this makes enough catalyst to supply the machines down to the south, and they need crystal seedlings and mineral sludge, which are filtered over here from crystal slurry and slag slurry, and they are also supplied with ceramic filters, so they can be cleared over here with the machines that need it. Okay. Also, the sulfuric water that's wastewater that's from left over from the filtering here, they go into a hydro plant here and being purified, which in turn supplies it to a sulfur dioxide gas machine to make sulfuric acid, which is also needed for slag slurry and crystal slurry. And also I've put a small stockpile here for sulfuric acid, since I can also make sulfuric acid from acid gas using green metal catalysts. I can turn it into what are those again? Hydrogen sulfide gas, which I use to make the first sulfur dioxide, and then first sulfur, then sulfur dioxide, and then sulfuric acid. And carbon dioxide is pretty much voided over here, and the hydrochloric acid that's made using the acid gas cracking. It's transported to gibolite here, and if I have an excess here, then it's burned off, so yeah. Okay, so all of this makes possible to liquefy, to make crystal slurry and slag slurry, and the purified water is made over here. And since I don't use saline water, it's just being clarified over here. Okay, so next is the mineral part, let's say, of the setup, let's say. So to get crystal slurry, I can pretty much use, let's show it over here, washing for geodes from heavy mud water. So yeah, I'm making heavy mud water over here, and leftover viscous mud I'm turning into viscous mud and clarify, since I don't really need it. I could probably turn it back here, but I would have to make sure that it can go there. So yeah, and I've got 6 machines making me geodes. So all of this rainbow of geodes is being sorted here with blue and purple for the first machines, yellow and light green for the second set of machines, and cyan and red for the third set. And yeah, it's also sorted that crushed stone goes up, and the dust that comes from the crystal dust goes here to make crystal slurry. I could also say slurify the geodes directly, but I would need if I remember correctly, I did the map and apparently this is the better method, but don't quote me on that. Okay, so the crushed again stone from geode crushing here, processing, goes here, and it's made into slag slurry. Also with the balancer here, I've pretty much tried to specify that the first 3 belts will be prioritized to take from, if possible. Geode processing here is crystal slurry is not being held up by crushed stone. But I need more crushed stone than only that. So I've got a setup over here of 28 electrolyzers making slag with dirt water electrolyzers, and also oxygen, which I use for sulfuric acid over here. The slag in turn is changed into crushed stone, which is sent over here to change it into slag slurry. Okay, the other things that change between episodes is let's see my checklist here. Glass, titanium, ore sorting, catalyst production, research. It's pretty much all of it. The only other thing that changes is the Crotinium mine 1 that was over here. It ran out, so I've started another Crotinium mine over here, which has 3 million Crotinium, so it will last for a little bit of time. Okay, it was a longer episode to, let's say, update you on everything that was going on. And yeah, as you can see, pretty much the machines making crystal slurry can't really work all the time, since yeah, I've probably forgot to account for making hybrid catalysts. Yeah, but once everything there on the southern side with ore sorting fills up, then it will lose less hybrid, then it will produce more crystal catalysts. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's it for this episode. It was quite a long one, so yeah. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Bye.